Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So we're popping open something pretty exciting today, Heather.
Yes, there is a new product line that just came out with Convention 2022. And the new product line is called MetaPWR. Meta stands for metabolic. And then power is abbreviated to PWR, which they have said stands for Personal Wellness Realized.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty exciting. I feel like, so first of all, this is the first convention where they really let the cat out of the bag ahead of time. So they really teased this and gave us excitement about this before it even came out. But it's everything that they've shared about it, it's pretty amazing. And it was cool to be at convention and get like the deep dive understanding about this. I think most people have a basic understanding about what metabolism is, but again, that's a basic understanding. So we got a lot more information about what metabolism is, how it is important for stabilizing blood sugar. It also impacts blood fat and it regulates insulin, and then the downstream effects of that, how that impacts aging. And they did at the very beginning share a study that says that only 6.8% of adults in the US have optimal cardiometabolic health. So super small percentage. It's only out of every 14 people you meet, 13 people don't have correct metabolism, like it's not working accurately. And that study was done off of 55,000 people. So a pretty
over
big
the age
sample.
of 20, over the age of 20 specifically, it said.
Yeah. So this is definitely like we all need metabolic help. And that's where MetaPWR comes into play.
Metabolic health was interesting to me because it does affect each person differently. And so they also did spend a lot of time talking about how important lifestyle is in addition to these products that help with metabolic health. And so they talked about the 5 pillars of good metabolic health really start with whole food diet consumption. So I feel like, you hear that again and again, how important that is. Daily movement. So they really stress the importance of exercise. Stress and sleep management. So having tools to be able to overcome obstacles with stress and sleep. Healthy human relationships and how important that was.
And I love that they added that part. I feel like so many times you hear about like these healthy habits, but they don't talk about the healthy connections. And that's so key. So I love that they added that.
I did like that too. And then the last one was smart supplementation. So obviously there is a lot of different products out on the market, but you obviously have experience with this from the nutrition side of a lot of the supplements available are not either well absorbed into our body or they're not sourced properly. So sometimes you can either be doing more harm than good or they're getting flushed out of your system really quickly anyways.
Yeah. Or it's just really hard to find what works for you. So the interesting thing for me sitting through and learning about all of this is we heard a lot of testimonials and before and afters. And it dawned on me, everybody whose before story I could relate to, because that was me when I was pre-diabetic. So I was pre-diabetic for about 5 years. It's part of what led me to become a nutritionist. And all of their before stories sounded like me. And then their after stories really sound like me now. And I still have work to do, but I'm no longer pre-diabetic. So that part of my metabolic health has improved. But just thinking, man, it took me 5 years to reverse this because so much of it was trial and error. And I definitely, I changed the way I eat. I exercise regularly. I really work on managing my stress, sometimes more successfully than others. So it's like I did all of those things. And I've used supplements, but I've gone through so many different supplement brands and tried so many different things. And so it got me really excited to think here is a whole system that they're sharing that so far the science shows that it's going to work for a lot of people. And that supplementation is kind of what puts you over the edge. So like I think just about everybody knows that they should be eating right and they should be exercising and stuff like that. But then when you add in the supplementation that just supports you and gets you the results faster, that's really exciting.
Well, and I think my big takeaway when they were talking about all of that is we have this years of our life that we live,
Mm-hmm.
and through modern medicine, we've been able to extend that actual lifetime a little bit longer. However, those last 8 to 12 years are not always our healthiest years. And so we're in decline. We're not able to do as much as we want to do. You know, we have other health issues that we're struggling with, but medicine is helping us overcome. So we don't have quality of life anymore.
Right.
And I don't think that sounds appealing to anybody. I think we would all like to, if we're going to live longer, want to have good quality of life. And I know I certainly want that for my loved ones. If, you know, my parents and mother-in-law are going to be around, I want them to have a good quality of life. I don't want them struggling those last couple of years. So I think that this could positively affect everybody.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree.
So let's start with the oil as our first discussion topic.
Okay. Yeah. So the oil is called MetaPWR, and it is a blend of oils. And it actually is the same oils that were in Slim and Sassy, but they have reformulated it. And it was really interesting too. They showed like different graphs and stuff comparing Slim and Sassy to the new MetaPWR. And Slim and Sassy worked. MetaPWR appears to be way more effective.
Right. And so the oils that are in it are grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal with the oil blend, when you use it internally, it's to help curb hunger cravings, reduce the adipose fat cells, which is, again, Slim and Sassy did both of those things, but this seems to do it much better when they showed us graphs comparing the two, and then support that healthy metabolic function. So this comes as a 15 ml oil, but then you've got a couple of other products that support it or can just help, just depending on what works best for you. There is softgels, which is 2 drops of the oil. There is beadlets, which is a 1/4 drop of the oil. And then there is gum, which is 1 drop of the oil. And so I primarily have tended to use the oil in my water. That works well for me. I have done the soft gels a few times, and I've done the beadlets a few times. Gum's not really my thing, so my husband took that to work so that he can use that as his 3 o'clock in the afternoon curb those cravings tool.
Yeah, yeah. So I have used primarily the soft gels, just because I already take a ton of supplements, and so it's just easy. But I have used the beadlets a few times, more so to refresh my breath because I do like the taste. And I have used the oil in my water. I've also just done a drop of the oil in my mouth, and it's super refreshing. I also have been using the oil with body brushing. So I already do dry brushing, and it's been fun to add that. And just knowing that it inhibits fat cell growth, I'm like, okay, well, let's just apply a little extra to the areas that maybe I want to reduce the fat cell growth on those areas. So
I
we'll
love
see.
it. And I do think they talked about dry brushing, and I forgot about that until you just mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the citrus oils, are you doing that at night so that you don't do it in the day and then go out in the sun?
No, I'm doing it. I mean, I do it. So it's funny, dry brushing for forever, I was told you need to do before you shower. And then I talked to a friend who's an aromatherapist, and she was telling me if you're using essential oils, you should do it after you shower. And because like your body's already warmed up, and then you put the oils on, and when you brush it, it puts the oils further into your body and skin. And I've really liked that because like if I've just worked out and I'm sweaty and gross, I don't want to dry brush. But I just wouldn't dry brush if I knew I was going to go lay out in a bikini by the pool. But for the most part, I'm not showing my stomach during the day.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and I have just been applying it to my stomach area. I haven't been applying it to other areas. Like I probably should be somewhat careful because I do dry brush my stomach before I go to my arms, and my arms are exposed. But so far, it's worked out fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will give that a try.
Yeah. So all four of those products that we just talked about, they are kind of interchangeable. So you can kind of pick which one works best for you, or which combo works best for you. So the next one is the MetaPWR Assist. And so this is a standalone supplement. And this one specifically smooths out the blood sugar spikes that you have after meals. And so they recommend that you take this supplement right before your biggest meal of the day, or the meal that has the most carbs in it, because it's going to help your body literally process those carbs without having your blood sugar spike. So this is pretty exciting stuff. This supplement does have the MetaPWR oil in it, and it also has really heavy hitters like berberine in it, which is a powerful herb that helps with blood sugar spikes. It also actually helps with like yeast issues, and a lot of us have different GI issues because of yeast in our gut, even if we don't have the traditional yeast issues that you might think of. So I think this is going to be really cool. It also stabilizes energy throughout the day.
The last product is the collagen. And I have to say, I am the most excited about this one. So It's called MetaPWR Advantage, and is a sachet of powder that you add to 5 to 8 ounces of cold water. And I've heard people complain about collagen taste before. I can't say I have much experience with it. I think it tastes really good. I mean, I
think it
don't
does
mind
too.
the flavor at all. And it's a nice change from just water or even oils in the water, because it does have a little bit of flavor. The color is like a pinkish orange color, and it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's delicious. And it's cool too, because it's more than just collagen. So I've used collagen for, I think, like 4 or 5 years now in my coffee most mornings. And first of all, this one's interesting. You don't want to add it to anything hot, because that will break down the effectiveness. So you do want to add it to cold or room temperature liquid. But it's got the collagen in it, but then it also has all these other amazing things in it. So like it has biotin in it, which is so good for your hair, nails, and skin, which, by the way, collagen alone is good for all of those things as well. What else does it have? It has mulberry root in it, which is awesome for your body.
Well, so the collagen specifically is also marine based. And so I know a lot of collagens on the market are bovine, and this is specifically marine based from Italy. And a lot of collagens have 1 or 2 types of collagen in it. They have 9 different types of collagen in this. That is supposed to make it 12 times more bioavailable to your body, which I thought was interesting in comparison to other products too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like this is the product that most people are the most excited about.
Yes. And so collagen is interesting too, because at the beginning we talked about how each person will be benefited differently. And it sounds like this particular product really ran the full gamut of benefits for people. Most people across the board all saw less brain fog with more clarity in their thinking, which I'm definitely interested in that part.
Well, and I'll say, as of the time of this recording, we are a week into using this product, and I am already experiencing that part for sure.
That's great. Yeah, 2 weeks seemed to be the average of what most people said that they noticed significant benefits from. I'm going to say most people across the board all experienced firmer skin, less wrinkles, like that type of thing. I heard several people that were already athletes say that their workouts were easier, and then their recovery time was easier. So that's appealing. Several people said they experienced weight loss.
And energy as well. A lot of people talked about how much more energy they had throughout the day.
Yes. So it definitely seemed to affect everybody a little bit different, but at the same time, similar benefits for each person, which is good, because I don't think we all fall into the same category, right? I mean, there's high-level athletes that experienced positive changes, but then there was also people that were, not as active or not as eating correctly, and then started doing this and also changing those lifestyle habits, and experienced their own benefits too. So that's exciting that it can be beneficial for everybody.
For sure. And even like we saw different age groups who have been given access to this, and we saw men and women, like across the board. This seems to be a product that people are really liking.
Yeah. So far, like Meg said, we are 1 week in. And so I'm looking forward to kind of continuing to see the improvements there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk real fast about how to use these products, because it is recommended that you use it as a system. And as Heather said in the beginning, you do want to do this with all the other healthy lifestyles. So this is not a magic pill that you can just continue to eat fast food every day and, sit on your couch and then also take MetaPWR and have all these amazing results. So you do want to have the foundations of health. So the eating right, the moving your body, stress management, sleeping better, good connections, all of that you have to have and you have to be working on. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do need to be like cognizant and working on those things. But then when you add MetaPWR on top of that, that's when the magic happens. And so the way to use this, the first line of products that we talked about, which is just the metabolic blend and the different ways to take it, that you can take throughout the day anytime you have hunger cravings, but also it's recommended that you use at least one of those products with every meal. So, whether it's adding a drop of the oil to your water and drinking that with your meal, or you could take the beadlets, or you could take the soft gel. You probably don't want to chew the gum while having your meal. That one might be a little weird, but you want to add one of those with every meal. And then the MetaPWR Assist, which is the standalone supplement, that one you want to have with your largest meal of the day or the meal that has the most carbs in it, because that's the one that's going to help regulate your blood sugar. And then finally, the MetaPWR Advantage. This is the collagen packet. And so that one, it sounds like most people are taking that first thing in the morning or at least before noon, because that's the one that's going to give you a lot of energy as well. So you probably don't want to take it late at night. A lot of people are using it as like a pre-workout as well. I personally have done it post-workout just because I like to get a little extra protein in. And I say that, but I don't know how much protein. I do know collagen is protein. So I've done that and that seems to work for me as well. But that's how you use it. So you can kind of mix and match it to your lifestyle, but that's the basics of how to use it.
Yeah, I've played around with the collagen a couple of different ways. Mm-hmm. I have done it between breakfast and lunch. And I hate to use the word filling, but at the same time, I feel like when I've been drinking all the water I'm supposed to be drinking, I had breakfast, which is not huge for me, but breakfast. If I do or don't have a cup of coffee, then, I feel like sometimes it's too filling to have at breakfast. And so I'll have it a couple of hours later before lunch. This morning I had it before breakfast. So I had it and then 30 minutes later. So the one thing we didn't mention, which person after person said specifically with the collagen, I can't remember if it was the other ones. Everybody was like, I don't have sugar cravings anymore. Oh yeah. So it wasn't just cravings in general. Like people kept saying that they had an easier time giving up sugar, which they had struggled to do in the past. I thought that part was interesting.
Yeah, I did too. And even one person, I was watching a video yesterday where somebody was saying that she still like occasionally will eat something sweet and it just doesn't taste as good. Like her taste buds are changing because of this as well. So yeah, bring that on.
Yeah. Sugar is a hard habit for a lot of people.
It's highly addictive. So yeah, if we can cut that, we're all going to benefit, except for maybe the sugar manufacturing companies. All the cookie and cupcake stores are not going to like it that much, but that's okay. They'll get over it.
So there is obviously a lot of information when it comes to these products. We wanted to keep this short and sweet today. So we wanted to kind of cover the basics of everything. But if you have a specific question about one of these products or how it can work for you, please reach out to us and let us know, or come to one of our third Thursdays, ask us anything, and we would love to take a little bit of a deeper dive with you into whatever you want to know about these products.
Yeah. So to sign up for the third Thursday, Ask Us Anything calls. You can get the registration link either on our website or on our social media. So Bottle Poppin' Podcast is where you'll find all of that information. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and learned something new about MetaPWR. We hope you're as excited as we are about this new line. And yeah, we look forward to connecting with you again next week with a brand new episode. So thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.